Hey guys, next up is Crystal Maiden. Really fun hero to play. Already a lot of inbuilt great abilities. You get the AoE, slow plus damage, single target disable, nice buff to everybody, global global area, and a very high impact ult, right? A lot of damage here, and that can be also upgraded with the shard. So here is kind of already set up for everything. You just gotta get a couple of levels into spells, and the hero is ready to go anywhere, do any fight. So the way I play her, considering all of that, with the spells that I just said, I pretty much would just get something like boots, rush those boots into tranquil boots, because you're gonna have Arcane Aura leveled up quickly. Usually kind of go with Frostbite, Aura, and maybe level into this. Uh, you can kind of combo it, or just look at your team. If you feel like they could benefit more from this, put more points. If they don't care that much about this, you don't have to put that much points into this. But tranquil boots is something that just kind of controls your health, keeps your health up, and this keeps your mana up. So there's really no need to go for something like arcane boots or anything else really. You're just kind of covered. This covers your mana, this covers your health. You're pretty much set. Crystal Maiden on the lane with just tranquil boots is incredibly annoying because of this, and it's kind of really hard to deal with. Just constant spams. So the way I play her, it's kind of how I like. I just kind of get the boots. I don't even get tranquil boots if I don't need them. Depending on how much I harass on the lane and get the pushback in forms of damage. If I'm fine, I don't even get this. I just rush straight to blink. Blink because of all of the kind of ganking abilities she has, but also pretty much ult is the biggest synergy with the blink. You're gonna just blink into everybody. Ult, uh, if they react, if they disable you or not, whatever happens, it's you can blink and immediately disable them with frostbite, slow them down with this and deal damage. She's one of the heroes that is perfectly like preset to get the blink. There's nothing else really. If you wanna get something like force staff, that's completely fine. But blink, I just believe it has to happen. In my opinion, you cannot swap blink with anything. If you wanna play this as like a instead of blink like a swap, I just never like this. If I get force staff, I get it after blink or some items or whatever. I never swap the blink with like a scuffed blink effect, because I think she really benefits a lot from this. And you know I kind of think she always has to have blink. Now, depending on the game and let's say my farm, my kills, of course I'm not farming, I'm support, but however the lane is, if she's a very offensive hero with a lot of disables and spell damage, the odds are good that you'll be getting some kills on your lane, right? If not, you'll probably be pushing the lane together with the second guy. It's kind of like it puts a lane under a lot of pressure, whoever you're playing against. So you're gonna be damaging a lot of damage of their tower. Are gonna get the kills. Are gonna push them so back that they have to leave the tower. You can kind of like slowly chip away from the tower, right? You should always be like on the offensive when you have Crystal on the lane. It's really nice support. So if that's just the case that we have such a lane, of course anything can happen. You can be pushed back as well and just kind of show up, cast these and just run away. I mean, that also happens, but it depends a lot of your of other hero on your lane. So, and she's post 5, so it's gonna be carry. Depends a lot on the type of carry that it is. If you have like a Juggernaut, that's a great combo. Freeze, he does the spin. Freeze with this, he does the spin. Target gets out of the way of the frostbite. You slow them down with Crystal Low even more. It's a great combo. Red King is also great as a carry on the lane. But if there's somebody like I mean even Faceless Void, but let's say there's somebody like Troll that's not that aggressive, can't really hunt that fast for kills or that much. Yeah, you just might be on the offensive more, but still, even heroes like Troll Warlord, he also has some slows and some fast attack speed on his side that he can actually get kills. So it's possible, I mean, something like that. And something like with Medusa as well, you know. That's how the great hero is. So yeah. In my case, I kind of just like getting black in bar. Why this? Because I already have everything. I kind of cover my team with this, with some nice disables already. Great ult. I have blink. I can chase anybody. You know what really do I need actually more? If I get blink, of course you can get glimmer cape. Glimmer cape is great. Glimmer cape is kind of, you know, you kind of blink in, cast the ult and hide. So ult is going on, they can't see you, right? That's one way to do that. Wait, she's just doing that because of the shard. You can't move unless you have shard there. It cancels it. But the problem with this and the blink, even though it's a great combo, and why I don't go this immediately, I just kind of, if I can, again, if the lane is fine, if you're doing fine, why I get blacking? Blacking kind of because you just do not care with this. Yeah, you just do not care. The only thing that stops me when I press the blacking is a direct bash. Somebody has to have a either inbuilt bash or to make a bash as an item. He also has to hit me all while under this, and while hitting me he also has to be lucky and get the bash proc. And that is the only thing that stops me when I blink in and just press the blacking, blink in and ult. Nothing else can stop me. All they can do is run away. If they don't want to run away, they're going to be sitting in a big AoE ult, kicking their ass. So kinda, if the game is going well for me, I just like getting this, you know. I would just press that blink and ult. Yeah, I didn't press the freeze plus, but yeah, you get the idea. So nothing, like, if somebody is not even close to me, let's say they're like here, they still have to make that way. They still have to attack me. Their bash has to proc. No spells, nothing can save me. They can only run away, push themselves up with force staff, or, you know, whatever they have, leaps and jumps. You know, if it's Mirana, if it's Faceless Void, he might jump on you, but again, you know, it's really risky. So that's why I like this. If my lane is not that great, if you're kind of being harassed a lot more, you know, if mid is not ganking so much, we're not getting stuff done really, I might just decide to drop this immediately, because you do not benefit so much from the pieces. Ogre X is nice, some extra health, but it can be hard to finish the whole thing. You need a Mithril Hammer, 1600 plus the recipe. It can be a lot to get there. So you might just have to cut like in between and get Glimmer Cape. Again, it's a great stuff. It's gonna help you. It's gonna help your team. You can save people with this. You know, somebody's running away, you can freeze the target or slow them. Give your friend Glimmer Cape protection. Even if they nuke him, they see him, it's 50% reduced damage. You know, Glimmer Cape I would get anyways. This is just like a discussion of whether I can get this first and really just annihilate them all every time ult is on cooldown, something like Enigma, you know, just not care. Or if I'll have to get this first and then slowly farm blacking. But that's how you would go usually, because if you get this and you have a blink and whatever boots, they're gonna know then as first time as they see it, or just, you know, they're gonna be carrying dust anyways, no matter what. Maybe there's somebody else, so, you know, you're only gonna get like so far with this until they just press the dust and immediately nuke you. You're gonna jump in, you know, all happy, I'm gonna blink in, ult, and then hide, I'm gonna kill everybody. No, you're gonna get immediately dusted, warded, whatever that is, immediately stun on you, hex on you. You're gonna get interrupted immediately. So that's the problem. It's not the problem. It's probably if your team can't really control the fight that well, but it can be a problem because that's kind of the biggest value, is just you kind of blinking into all 5 of them and just not caring, you know. That's kind of the Crystal Maidens, kind of like how I like playing her, like the signature mark, why I like this so much. But yeah, it's also used defensively. You know, if somebody's running away, somebody's chasing that guy from your team, you kind of press this, and as your ally slowly goes into the circle, he'll just pass and the other hero's gonna get slowed. and then you can disappear. So if they dust you and stuff, they they still have to reveal you, have to cast stuff on you. Maybe the hero that's chasing is like a some form of carry that doesn't have any stun or bash. I mean, made bash and no stuns in like his spell inventory, you know. So they might just have to, you know, give up and run back. So also a way to use this defensively also as well. So yeah, but kind of after those, usually the game would already end. Usually the game would end. You just cannot farm so much. And then like the game's still going most of the time. If the game goes on, because you kind of need all of these, right? As I said, you kind of do need the blink, you need the black king bar, you do need the glimmer cape. I want to activate that. If the game goes further, there's a bunch of options. Shard is something that, as I was casting, allows you to move while you're casting ult, and you can also cast other abilities. So if you have a shard, if there's anybody close, right, you can kind of move. I mean, it's a lot slower, but it's still movement, so you can kind of pour the ult on them and then still freeze them and do the whole Crystal Nova thing, right? You can just keep casting those, freezing. So yeah, shard is really nice. You can just kind of rush the shard if you want as well, however you see fit. Again, it puts a lot of stress into this. If this keeps failing, shard is also failing. Shard is then useless. You just wasted shard, kind of. You know, it's kind of complicated to say when I would get this and not. I mean, like as a suggestion, I would have to see the enemy team, see my team, how my lane is going. That would depend, right? Scepter is also a great item to get for pretty much if they stay long enough in this, and kind of with shard you can kind of force them even if they can move away. So as you can see, 175 seconds, if they stay in this, they get immediate frostbite cast on them. So it's like a free cast of this. If you have shard, right, you can immediately cast ult with the shard. You can immediately cast ult and also immediately cast frostbite, and that's gonna add just enough extra time to keep him in the ult. And then when this expires, the scepter effect is gonna kick in and apply another frostbite. You know, or you can cast Crystal Nova if you know, you can let them move. They don't have any abilities that can really push them out. You can just kind of use this as well and save the bigger one, because this is a bigger disable, right? It's like a hex. You know, so yeah, it synergizes really nicely the whole thing. Scepter, the shard, blink with the ult, the black king bar. You know, you're gonna create this whole AoE scenario where we're just nuking everybody, but they cannot also, they just can't really leave it. They'll have to press their own black king bars, but they, again, while like this, they can't stop you unless they directly bash you. There's no way to do anything to you, you know, unless this expires. There's no other way to cancel this. So stuff like that, stuff like on disc, usually seen for Crystal Maiden. She's also in a way, she's not a damage dealer in like most of the game. You're not there to like specifically deal all of that huge damage with this. Just running around and like these are really cool low cooldowns, 8 seconds, 6 seconds. Just kind of run around and spam these on people, and this is the utility. It's not about damage. This is also not so much about damage, it's more about slowing them down. This also slows attack speed, right? So even with Aeon Disc, you're still getting so much value out of this, because it's not really about that much about damage with this. They're more like a utility. Slows them down. This is like a hex effect, right? You don't really care about yeah, so this also goes great. Also gives you extra health, extra mana even, because this becomes pricey as well. This becomes 600. That's a lot. And yeah, Crystal is the type where you don't usually building int items, right? The only item with stats, some stats towards the mana is really Scepter. You know, there's nothing else towards my mana pool. This is regeneration, but it doesn't really bump the amount of mana that I have, right? So it's a really nice boost. And some other items, like I said, Force Staff is really nice, but I kind of always get Blink first. If I want to get Force Staff, I get it as along with the blink. I never swap my blink with force staff. You know, I know if you kind of feel really close, kind of like in the panic that game is gonna end soon. For some reason, maybe your team pick is kind of poor, and you kind of feel you gotta react with something sooner. And it's more like team oriented. All of the blink talk and just get the force staff in that case. I mean, still, force staff takes time to farm, anyways. You know, it's not something that you can just buy like boots upgrade. So I don't know. You know, you have this for the team. You have this. You're helping them with mana. You're helping them with ult. Force staff can wait really until you get something like, I would say, blink and glimmer cape. You know, kind of like you have all of this. Why not get some tools that not only help your team, but can kind of help you, you know, get away with ults as well. Why not try to maximize the full potential of the hero if it's this great already, right? Why not just try to get the max out of it? So yeah, that would be the reasoning. I might get this, I might not get this. It kind of depends. I would much rather get Black King. I would much rather get Eodisc. Not really seeing so much use for force staff, you know, that much. Once you jump in with the blink and once you press the Black King bar or the glimmer cape, you're kind of stuck there. Your job is to do this, cast ult. If you die, you die. That's kind of your, you know, your gameplay. You're not supposed to cast all of this and survive and cast again and chase. That's all nice, but if it doesn't happen, it's fine. You're not supposed to be like a, you know, survivor of the fight. Kind of do as much damage as you can, help the team, and then if you die, that's how it is. You're playing support. So yeah, Scepter. Some usage can be fine in Yule Scepter, right? As usual, disabling any targets like Witch Doctor. I would say Crystal Maiden, but now I'm playing Crystal Maiden, so something like Witch Doctor, something like Legion Commander, Pudge. Although you have already this, but you know, this can also be cast on yourself. If they kind of rush you and they got Black King bars, you can't really stop them with this. Let's say there's also Dust. You can kind of lift yourself up with this, and you know, kind of delay the time, and then you can kind of jump into this immediately. Prevent any spell damage if they're gonna nuke you. Survive a bit more. Maybe somebody from your team comes in there and helps you in the meantime. You know, I would never say this is a bad item. Whoever you play, you know, for yourself, helping the teammate that's running away, interrupting a channeling spell, removing the debuffs like silence, blocking any stuns that's flying towards you. Silencers, always use silencer is the best example when you cast the second and third spell, or not second, the first and the third spell. You know, if you lift yourself on this when you go back down, it removes all the debuffs. So I will always advocate for this item. This is amazing item. And yeah, of course, if the game goes that long and you somehow get the money, although I highly doubt it, there's always Hex. You know, Hex is always an item that you can't go wrong, but you know, the problem is money. The problem is benefits from the parts of this. Your only benefit is Ultimate Orb. You do not benefit from Mystic Staff. You don't care. You don't care about Void Stone. And those are the, like, Mystic Staff is like 3k almost, right? Like 2.8. It's a lot of money, and you at that point you don't really care about the extra mana, right? You have more than enough in that sense. And Void Stone is kind of also useless. There's this, the whole game, same effect but better. So yeah, that was always the main problem with Hex. Money being the first one, and second one, you don't really enjoy the parts in a hero like this. It does not benefit you. It's a lot of money. You know, the best way would it be, for example, Hex was made out of the X, the strength X. You get like what is it, 25 strength. That would be amazing. That would be much better incentive to get this. But you know, there's a reason this is made out of Mystic Staff. Kind of blocks hero like this from being really powerful, right? And also benefiting a lot, getting the health boost and survivability. So Hex is always on the table if you wanna, if you have money, if you can get it, get it. But Glimmer Cape really, you would really need this. Really need Blink. Really need Black King Bar. Even this I would say really need as well. And like the last slot, you know, you can make it whatever you want. Scepter is fine, but again, Scepter is putting everything into your ult. A lot of things can go wrong. You can be late to the fight, you can get ganked and die even before casting this. This is a lot of money. The stats are not that huge for you. It's not really that much like a contribution to the whole, you know, the whole system of spells and stuff. If I had a choice and I had to make one item here, let's say I have these four, my choice would be rather to get a Aeon Disc than to go for Scepter. But again, depends on the enemy team, depends on your team. If your team has a great control, they kind of support you a bit so you can kind of get this going. If the enemy team is not so crazy on the, you know, escape items or escape spells, you know, if there's like Amber Spirit and Void Spirit, and then there's also Mirana, and then there's also, you know, Padre Legion, something like, they're not really gonna care much about this, or maybe Faceless Void. It's gonna be a really hard time trying to keep those heroes, or like Weaver, trying to keep those heroes in this, and then long enough so the Frostbite procs. Otherwise, it's kind of just empty stats that, you know, don't really help you that much. So it's not an easy choice, kind of tough choice there, but yeah, that's something take into consideration. And yeah, that will be the build pretty much. Just do shortly talent tree. Talent tree obviously take health. She's really low on health. Any free health is really welcome, so just take the health. Second one, just Crystal Nova cooldown. It's nothing that crazy. It is 5 seconds after all, but I mean, it's compared to this gives you mana every time you cast stuff. But why are you casting really? You know, it's not that often. It's not, you're not Skyrat. This for somebody like Skyrat might be more value because he keeps spamming the bolt. But even, I mean, even for him, it wouldn't be that amazing, right? Because he's more of a instant nuke hero. Nothing really special. Cooldown is nice, so probably getting this to 5 seconds, much better than this. Third one, a lot of people take attack speed. I really don't know. You can make a case for getting attack speed. I've seen a lot of funny stuff. People would hit level 20, they would suddenly run around with Desolator, and I was like, why is this Crystal Maiden running around with Desolator? And then I just see level 20, 200 attack speed. So I've also seen, who else is there? Lion? I can't remember that, or Leech. There's somebody else. You know, again, attack speed. You're kind of there to just most of the fights even. You're kind of there to just blink, pop the Black King and ult, and hope everybody and everything dies under this. If they don't die, you get interrupted. You're there to kind of cast this and this. There's just not enough time for you really to kind of stay there and right click. You do not have the health. You do not have the armor. Look at my armor. I mean, I'm gonna get some when I level, but it's not something crazy, right? With the full item build, you're gonna get smoked. This can be beneficial, but it's kind of tough to really, you know, justify it. But this is also not that great as well. I can't really. This is a tough choice, you know. Ult is kind of already dealing enough damage anyways. You kind of put everything into this. But then again, you have Black King bar, so you don't care. So extra damage is nice. You know, tough one really. I'm just gonna say pick whatever you feel like it's gonna help you more. But this one is really funny. Just somebody actually sitting there and actually saying, I'm just gonna kill Crystal Maiden out of nowhere, 200 attack speed, but only this hero and nobody else. You know, everybody else like stays on the normal creep attack speed. But you know, Yeah, somebody actually just implemented. I was always amazed by what, like, why is this here? But yeah, last one. So Crystal Nova damage is immediate value, and this is AoE. So if they're kind of close, if they're condensed, once you pop this, 250 extra damage is really nice. It can hit as many heroes as you want. If it's 5, you know, even if it's 2 or 3, it's a nice extra damage. Frostbite duration is great. It's already 3 seconds. That's usually how much like the hex and all that, those effects last. Maybe like 4 seconds. I can't remember exactly on Lion how much Lion gets, and Shaman. It's around 3-4 seconds. It can be great, but again, this is single target. A lot of things can happen in 425 seconds. Kinda also tough to decide, really. It would have to be. You have to depend again on my team and the enemy team. If I feel like me jumping around with Blink and doing huge disable with Frostbite is really effective on somebody and we can do something from it, then yeah. If the fights are kind of really short and we kind of need to kill them fast, there's games where you gotta eliminate the enemy team real fast. Then Crystal Nova damage AoE buff might be just better. But I can't really, you know, can't really say. It's another case of if you want to spread it out into like a more guaranteed damage, because this is kind of always guaranteed to hit somebody. If you jump somebody, they kind of press Black King or get away. It's kind of useless. Your AoE is always castable in a large circle, so anybody in that can be hit still. Even if there's 2 people with Black King bars running around, or even 3, you know, you can still hit some of them. But also you can also freeze some of them as well, so, you know, have fun. I can't really say. This like really bothers me, but I'll have to look at the enemy team, look how the whole game is going. If it pays out to get an extra disable on somebody, if they can really react to it or get away, or if their enemy team doesn't have any like saving abilities, they can't really save him, they kind of have to leave him there. This is much better. In other cases, just Crystal Nova damage. Yeah, even if you ignore all of this, the hero, like I said, is completely ready for any fight, any pick. You cannot go wrong with Crystal Maiden. She's always going to get value. Even with these spells alone, a huge help for your team. Even if you play completely without ult, just having these, especially these two constantly spammed, keep chasing any target that's trying to get away, keep using Frostbite. You know, you already did the value, even with Glimmer Cape alone and Blink. Yeah, Crystal Maiden does not need much, really. It's just one of those great heroes set up already in the beginning, and yeah, you just, even if you need to farm, you can farm with Crystal Nova. This also lasts, like you can see, on heroes it's 3 seconds, on creeps it's 10 seconds. They even gave her the single target spell. It can be used as a like a farmable spell. You hit like a bigger monster camp, you freeze the big one with a Frostbite, and then you kill the small ones with either this or the attack, auto attack. They really took care that this hero does not suffer in any way. Whatever happens, you can kind of get the gold. You'll be doing support, you know, a couple of items is already great, and yeah, it's a pretty great hero. So yeah, that would be Crystal Maiden. Don't think I missed anything big. If I missed anything, you know, Rod of Athos, sure. Rod of Athos, like another root ability along Frostbite. I guess that's an option as well. There's also, yeah, I did forget some bigger item. I just moved the scepter. Just move this. Ghost scepter as well, right? It can be used whenever you're attacked by any hard right-click hero, right? If they pop the Black King and kind of ignore this, you can pop your Ghost Scepter. So they're gonna spend their Black King bar effect on your Ghost Scepter effect. But then again, you can also press this and immediately go into ult mode. One thing that's great for Crystal Maiden. If they kind of surround you but there's no spells to interrupt you, even though you take extra damage from spells in this mode, you can still just kind of press this, because let's say there's no spells that can interrupt you in the heroes that chase you, but there's bash effects, right? Somebody like Ursa that has bash effect, Faceless Void, or stuff like that. Juggernaut, let's say, kind of chasing you. They got bash. They got no spells though to interrupt you, so you can just kind of press the, you can press the ghost and go into ult immediately. That's also one great way. Somehow I keep forgetting about this item. This item is also amazing. Just keep it in mind. Ethereal is not that amazing for Crystal. It can be, of course. It can be another way of you frostbiting somebody, ethereal blading somebody else, so they can't do any melee any physical damage. Or melee damage, physical damage. So yeah, another item to keep in mind. But that's again, if I have trouble with those heroes, I would get that. If not, probably something like a Aeon Disc into Scepter. If I have, let's say if I have all the money in the game, I would probably end up with something like this. Really great utility for everything, for ult, for escape, some buffs, wanting to save my life if I get caught in any way. You can also keep casting ult under this. If there's no interruptions, they can't really kill you. Gives you at least 2.5 seconds of extended time. So yeah, a lot of stuff in Crystal, man. A lot of stuff. Just take a look at the enemy team and see what you really want to do, right? And yeah, that will be it. Let's not waste any more time with the funny stuff like this. And yeah, I'll see you guys on the next one.